weekly Crockpet Diet Q&A, answering all the questions that were Facebook again this week. So we can get started. Oh, by the way, my name is Michael Daly. I am a certified canine massage therapist, a certified equine shiatsu massage practitioner, a certified holistic pet health coach through Dr. Roberts, and a vet tech for a long time. So, yes. So let's get started with the questions. Hope everybody's having a good week and getting ready for Christmas. I'm checked out already, y'all. So I'll do my best. I'm like, yeah, just feed them. I don't care. Kidding. Of course I care. All right, let's go. See if I can help y'all. A lot of different questions, not food related. So I'm going to do my best with those. The first one was on fleas, and oh, lolly, lolly, lolly. I feel your pain. Let me get to it. Woo! There's a baby boy. We talk about him. He's so cute. All right, let's go. Sorry, guys. My goodness. Lots of things. Hold on. We're getting there. Da-da-da-da. All right. Lolly talking about flea control. So, man, I know. I mean, I'm in Charleston, South Carolina. So fleas, once they get out of control, it is a absolute battle. And some places it's just not as bad, so you can get away with using holistic products, natural products, and it's really interesting. Like the years that I've been seeing animals, it's odd that there's some people like, and even in Charleston where fleas can be really bad, like Florida, like there's some people that never have any flea issues, and I'm telling you, don't use any flea products, and some people that do everything and have flea issues. So a lot of it has to do with the environment. Let's see. Um, so yeah, you're going through a lot. I mean, a lot of different products there. I'm actually honestly surprised that Advantix 2 and Advantage 2 worked for you, because those have been ones that just have not been doing the job um, in Charleston for quite some time. I mean, I think we were selling Advantage 2 at gosh, early 2000s. That's when it was kind of popular. So I'm surprised that that was working, which is great. Again, it's crazy how some stuff works and some stuff doesn't. And fleas, they get resistance to these products, and that's why every year we're coming out with different ones. And yeah, so some people have commented about avoiding the pills, and yeah, so when you can avoid the oral ones because it does go through the liver to detoxify out of the body. And you can always do a run of milk thistle too for a week after you use the product to help the body and liver detoxify as well, y'all. So yeah, and so there's a lot of great, a lot of great recommendations out there. And so what I was going to talk about and throw some products at you, Lolly, to see if it works. So I'm telling you, I worked at Sundog Cat Moon. I had every flea product, natural, um, environmental friendly, pesticide wise at my disposal, and my cat got fleas, and it took me 6 months to get it under control. And I had my cat on a Seresto collar. I was doing everything possible that I had it from Dr. Roberts at Sundog Cat Moon Vet Clinic, and I mean, I had to hire pesticide people to come in. I had to do a whole thing to get it done. So it can be vicious, especially in the South. So I was going to talk about first. I pulled up a lot of stuff, y'all. So where was it? The pyramid, the flea pyramid. So that wasn't the one I wanted. Hold on. There it is. So a lot of times, a majority of the flea issue is environmental. A small percentage is actually the pets. So you do want to make sure you take care of the environment indoors and outdoors. Now, that being said, it can be really difficult when you live in an apartment complex where other people have pets that don't use flea preventive. But you really do want to try to take care of the environment first. So, and a lot of products, we're looking at the flea pyramid here, only actually take care of this part and this part. Um, they don't take care of larvae, and a lot don't take care of the eggs. So when you're treating the environment, you want to get a product that takes care of the eggs and larvae. And so there's a product called Knockout Spray that we used to actually sell at Sundog Cat Moon. You can get it at Amazon, you can get it at Chewy, really readily available, really not that expensive. A can like will take care of, like I have a 1 bedroom apartment. It takes care of that, and I'd still have some left. You do want to make sure that you remove your pets. You want to stay out of the house for a couple hours, and so it has an insect growth regulator in it that helps take care of the eggs and larvae. So that's a good product to do for the environment. Also, Flea Busters is another product that can be really, really helpful. And basically, it's made of like a acid that actually just like slices through fleas and eggs and does it that way. And it's something where you put it on the carpet, really kind of, you got to kind of get like almost like a brush and brush it and really work it into the carpet and then leave it in there for a little bit and then vacuum it up. And those can be really helpful as well. And those you can get on, I think this was Chewy as well. Chewy has it available. We used to sell Knockout Spray and we used to sell this Flea Busters at Sundog Cat Moon. So those are the products that Dr. Roberts liked environmental wise. Also, you can, for outdoor, you can also try nematodes, which are an organism that eat fleas and eggs and larvae. So yeah, there are different. I actually learned this in Disney at Epcot, but because they had nematodes at Epcot, and I was like, oh well. So I was talking about how we use them to help with fleas, and so there are different types of nematodes that just go for fleas and won't hurt the plants and everything like that, because that was the main concern. So nematodes are a product you can do. And then yeah, it's just topical wise, there's so many different products out there, and we liked it. So I would say you want to be careful with Advantix, anything that ticks in it, because a lot of times there's been some studies that show that the tick preventive can cause seizures. So you may want to avoid Advantix. Advantage Multi is one that we used to use at Sundog Cat Moon that was really helpful. And then also Seresto collars was one that we used. There are a couple more flea topical preventives out there. I've just not been in the business in vet teching for a bit, so I'm not sure what they are, but they are. I think there's one other topical out there. So yeah, but I mean, I use Advantage Multi still for my cat. When I get honestly, when I get a flea infestation, I don't put it on them regularly. And again, it's just one of those things. It's like you have to outweigh. Because of course, working with Dr. Roberts, if there was something that was absolutely natural, that she felt would completely take care of fleas, she would recommend it. And it just really depends on the environment and where you are. So there's also shoe tags, SHOO exclamation point, that I think they put like ultrasonic, they emit like an ultrasonic thing that is supposed to retract fleas and everything like that. Those can be really helpful in areas where you're really not having a bad flea problem. Amber collars are another thing, as more a preventive than to help get rid of them. Also, if you have a really bad, one of the things you can do over the counter to kind of, and this is what I would recommend if your fleas are so bad, are Capstar pills, which are safe and will take care of the fleas in 24 hours. And you can get them on Amazon, I want to say. Yeah, so they're run on Amazon. And so you may need to do that as well to get the initial knock out the fleas from your pet initially, and then do a flea preventive. But really, it's the environment that you want to get under control. So, and again, like I was saying, I got a little bit off track, but fleas are such a big subject. It's balancing out. I have seen clients come in, especially at Sundog Cat Moon, that just did not want to give their pet any sort of pesticide, but their pet was bleeding, itching from flea infestation. And it's like, well, what's your goal here? I mean, are you going to make your pet suffer because you don't believe in pesticides? You really have to balance out, okay, yeah, this may have some side effects, but what are the side effects of my pet not getting treated for their flea infestation? So you kind of have to balance it out in that way, But hopefully, Molly, some of that's helpful. I feel for you. I honestly, I went through it with my cat. My cat would. It was so bad. I'm absolutely serious that I could see my cat looking at the floor, like looking at the fleas, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like I have it so he wouldn't touch the carpet. He wouldn't touch the carpet. It was like fire. It was crazy. But I did eventually get it under control. I did, and I honestly don't use a flea preventive right now for him, and I've been good. So yeah, but sometimes when it gets bad, it gets bad. So hopefully, I give you some information that can help you out there. All right, next up, Pamela was asking about so she's got an allergy test done, and so pet is pretty limited to um, different types of vegetables and proteins. And I mean, I would say, yeah, I think you're doing okay, Pam. Just keep hitting out those products, foods, and I would say so your goal is going to be getting the gut in check. So you may, if you're not already starting on a probiotic to help with getting the gut in check, and so you're just really wanting to help with the gut to help get a resistance to those allergies to help his immune system. And I would say you could probably do this rotating as much as you can, um, especially beef and pork are the only two proteins I'm assuming. I mean, there are other proteins out there. I don't know if whitefish was one that he was allergic to. I mean, and there's like, there's venison and deer that he could have been allergic to that one as well. They are expensive, of course, especially right now. So, yeah, so just do your best you can right now with everything. And maybe try to start introducing once you kind of get the gut in good health, you're working on that. In about 4 to 6 months, maybe start introducing another protein and see how he does with it. So one that he's less reactive to. But yeah, it sounds like you're going. I think you're doing good with what you're doing right there. Look at some of these comments. Yeah, and Jack is boycotting Brussels sprouts right now. So yeah, and just be careful, Dana. So he may be not eating it because it may be affecting his belly. So just be aware of that too, because it can be a little tough on them sometimes. So just be if he's not eating those, just be aware of that. Which I'm sure you know. Veggies. The veggies. Yeah, Maya's doing the elimination diet. That's great, Maya. Good for you. I know that's really, really a lot. So you're doing great. Yeah, everyone's kind of it's a different situation for everybody. So oh, well, hold on. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. I may have misread your question. I've been, because I missed the few years. My question is several vegetables, allergies, as well as I feel very limited to what I consider. I don't add any rice beans. Okay, yeah. So depending on if you've been doing that for, I'm so sorry, Pam. If I'm Pamela, if you've been doing that for a few years, and it's been a while, you may want to start trying introducing different stuff and see what happens. I mean, that's what the Crockpet Diet's all about. So yeah, unless you did, I thought you had just did an allergy test recently. So yeah, so either way, if it's been a while, then I would try to start introducing some other proteins in there and see if they are reactive to it now, since it may have been out of their system long enough. And then if not, give it a little time and then start to reintroduce it. So I hope that makes sense. Sorry, I missed that first part of the question. I read it like 3 times today too. That was Jennifer's question. I hope I answered that in the video. Because I'm curious what your thoughts on that, Jennifer, were about seeing if he has some arthritis in his lower spine, if that's giving him a hard time pooping, and making it look like he's straining more. Wally, oh my gosh, Bogey is so cute. I'm so sorry about the seizures. Oh God, I know they're awful, but um, looks like the prednisone got it under control. And the arthritis is a great idea too for an anti-inflammatory as well. Um, yeah, 15. I mean, look, good job, Lolly. I mean, Lolly's so great. I mean, 15 is so great. He's doing good. He's doing good. So cute. That's great. Um, all right. And then Laura answered, it popped up on my Facebook, so I just answered it really quickly. So yeah, a client of mine is doing the Instapot and loves it. It's just really easy to do. And Aaron made a good point. Yeah, can add heat. So just everybody has everybody has a different lifestyle. Everybody has a different thing of doing. I'd rather you make food than not make food if it's going to take too long for you to cook. But yeah, so that's the reason for the slow cooking is because it doesn't add heat. But just I mean, if your pet is all of a sudden having humongous skin issues and having all these sort of like fire dog like this started just elevating, like increased anxiety, increased all this sort of stuff that goes along with a fire dog, then maybe not do the Instapot. But overall, I mean, it's just a convenience factor, and I get it. I'd rather have a client um, doing it than not doing it. So yeah, but Aaron's running the money though. Aaron's running the money, and Aaron does a bunch of batches too. So that's the thing too. So if you're doing triple batches and things like that, sometimes the Instapot won't fit it all in. So the roaster pan is a good idea, or like a roaster oven, like the big ones. So um, next up, answered that question for Michael. Um, Dana asking about cooking fish protein separately. Absolutely. Yeah. That's my answer. Yeah, it's smelly. Yeah, and Melissa commented that she puts it in last. A lot of people do that. Yeah, that's easier for you, Dana. That's great. Oh, I would avoid canned just because of the BPA's. So I would probably avoid any sort of canned um, fish or anything like that. So yeah, absolutely. I just want to read these comments. Yeah, just watch out for the canned, y'all. There we go. I baked my fish in the oven for 20 minutes. Oh, this thing. And then add to the Crockpet Diet. Perfect, Jamie. Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like sometimes my answers to your questions are just like, yes. Because you guys are doing good. Yeah, I know a lot of people in the garage. See, my client tried to do, so he was doing this, he was doing like this a slow cook, and he would do it overnight, but it kept him up all night because of the smell. So, um, all right, and this is a question about halty collars. So one thing I am not great about is training. So, what I was thinking about, because people had definitely, everybody has different. Every collar works differently for everybody and every single dog. I like halty collars. I like halty collars. In So halty collars work as it puts pressure on the nose, which is a correction from the father, and a correction on the back, which is a correction from the mother. That's how it helps with pets. I honestly I feel like it's better for more pets that pull to get control of your pet. I don't know if it necessarily is going to help the pet be reactive. So I would think that with a reactive pet, it's a it's protection and anxiety. So in my experience, I don't use. So I'm thinking about muzzles, and muzzles sort of have that kind of idea too. It's because they're attached behind here and they're over the nose here, the muzzle here. And so And yeah, they stopped the pet from biting, but I was one as a vet tech to only use muzzles if it was going to be more beneficial for the pet, in a sense that he wasn't the pet wasn't going to hurt themselves. But I rarely would use it on that sense. But I would use it. But there are some pets, and I've actually used it for massage that it made them feel calm. So I think in a sense, if a halty collar doing that action would help their anxiety, I think it might be good for a reactive pet. Um, Martindale collars are great. I have a lot of clients that have a lot of success with Martindale collars. Um, I would maybe look into working with a trainer, maybe with that situation, and see if you get some repetitive correction going on with it. Also, the other thing I was thinking about in terms of anxiety is trying an adaptal collar. I don't know if you've used those before. So an adaptal collar, you can get them on Chewy or Amazon. We used to sell them like Sundog Cat Moon. There's diffusers, there's collars, there's spray. So it basically puts off dog appeasing pheromones that their mother put off, and a collar kind of helps them put like almost that bubble around them. You have to, I would honestly say to give it so you have to replace it every 30 days. So I would give it 30 days, I'm sorry, I would give it 60 days to see if you see any results. But that may be something to look into too. Um, for Mr. Man, a lot of comments on that, which is so great. Um, Martindale collars are great. Yeah, yep, yep. There we go. So Donna had a great, yeah. See, I'm kind of more for the Halty, I think, for that reason. Halty worked for my dog. Only used it when he was reactive. Made him turn his head away, so it would force him to calm down. Break. Yeah, Donna, I just read that. Right on the money. Spirit's reactivity is not predictable. Happens on today's walk. Jim held him by his collar to get past another dog. Wasn't pretty. I can. Okay, so yeah, maybe a situation where you need to work with with a trainer on this one, to kind of figure out what he is, since his reactivity is not predictable, to kind of figure out what it is. I'd really observe the walk you're going on and try to, when he is reactive, take a look around and see what it is. And keep in mind, Temple Grandin, I don't know if you guys ever heard of her, but she is, there's a great HBO movie on her that Claire Danes played her, and she um, is autistic. And so she has a theory that pets are autistic. And so one of the things that she did, I used to do this at the clinic too, when a pet would I could tell a pet was freaked out, is she'd get on all fours. So May get on all fours outside the sidewalk. So, but kind of get to the level where if you can kind of see, so like there was a situation she had mentioned, I read her training book, she's got some good training books, where because she dealt a lot with cows and farm animals, and there was a they were trying to direct a herd of cows into unfortunately getting slaughtered, but the cows would kept panicking at one point, and so she got into the pen and walked the walk and tried to look where a cow would look, and she's super sensitive to sight visuals because of her autism, and what she saw in the distance was a red coat on a pole, and that bothered her. So they removed the red coat, and the cows went. So it's kind of like trying to get your dog's perspective of what you think would be how he would what they would be reactive to. Also, there's the idea of throwing a lot of different training ideas at you all. I'm so sorry, but the idea of being the pack leader when you're on a walk. So you have to have you have to always have with pets, because I used to work at a doggy daycare as well, and I would I would manage up to 45 large dogs a day by myself, and they would never get into a fight because I'd walk into that ring with a center that I with in my center that I'm the pack leader. My motivation is you don't do anything unless I tell you to do it. You have to have that kind of leader mentality, so that they feel secure and they won't be reactive. So there's just tons of different training things you can try there, May. So Um, but yeah, but that's I think you can under control. Um, Good question, y'all. Not crop that question. Ah, yeah, keep us posted on it though, May. I'm curious. Hope I gave you some information to help you. Um, all right, and good old organ question. So 5 to 10% of the diet should can be organs, and yes, it is in the holistic total body support from Dr. Roberts. It is made with organs, and that is what is used to balance out the diet per AFCA standards. So it isn't there, so you do not have to feed them organs. If you do, then I wouldn't feed them all the time, and make sure they're grass fed. And you would um, maybe feed the organs as like treats and things like that. Just be wary of liver and kidneys, as yes, like feeds like, but they're also the two organs that filter waste. So you may be causing more inflammation than not. So yeah, I give Nemo, my cat, I make chicken liver pate every year, and we both eat a little bit of that once a year. Other than that, he's getting the holistic total body support when he's not being a pain in my butt. um, all right, Pamela had a question about allergy testing. So yeah, and um, so I talked to Dr. Roberts about this yesterday, and so it was more of experience. Was kind of based on experience. So we did at Sun.Camus Heska was the allergy test we used, and it was blood, and we did blood for environmental, and we did saliva for food allergies, and so we'd have to do both. And it was really expensive, I will say that. And we did it for a while, and Dr. Roberts just felt like it wasn't as reliable as she wanted it to be. So that was her experience with Heska. Now, that's why she recommends, and she likes this one, is the Pet Wellness Life Stress Scan. And this is the one that, and the good thing about the Pet Wellness Life Stress Scan is that you can do it at home, so you don't have to pay for the vet visit or anything like that. And it is using saliva and hair, so there's no blood draw in it. And she has found that it was more reliable than Heska. And I'm pretty sure someone had mentioned another test. And I'm pretty sure that she has found this the most reliable and has looked at other wellness tests. So even though it's not drawing blood, she's felt like the hair was just as reliable, if not more reliable than blood. So yeah. So yeah, it looked like someone tried. Yeah, the app My Pet. So yeah, and I mean, if it's helping, it's helping. That's great. So just Dr. Roberts, just overall, she's just seen more benefits using the Pet Wellness Scan. So yeah, so it just depends on the test. And I think that I feel like saliva is more accurate for food allergies, actually. Um, yeah, but that would be the reason why, just based on experience. So hopefully that was helpful, Pamela. All right, let me just refresh this, make sure we got everything. Did I talk about everything I wanted to talk about? I think I did. These are the nematodes. So you can get the nematodes for the flea control. You can buy them Amazon and everything like that. All right, let me head back to this. Oh. Oh my gosh, no questions. I threw so much stuff at you. I thought you were gonna be like, What are you talking about? You're throwing a million things at us. Well, okay. Well, hopefully that was helpful. I hope you guys are watching the live feed to get the answers that you guys are asking in the questions, and I hope they're helpful. Yeah. Please, everybody that has questions that has ongoing problems, like keep us all up to date with the situation. Like, man, I'd love to know, what's going on with your pet, and Lolly with your uh, with Mr. Man, and I'm forgetting everyone's name. Awesome. And Jennifer with your kitty with the poop. So please just keep us all up to date. And yeah. All right. Well, I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas, and I will see you next Tuesday.